Welcome to Moonbeam's Messages. This is the Sagittarius reading. This is for your self-reflection. If you've never been to one of my self-reflection readings before, the idea behind these is every now and then we have a bit of healing that we need to do, and sometimes we don't know what to work on. So this is a bit of a nudge from Spirit, just to let us know, or let you know, what inner healing work you may need to do, or what kind of things you need to heal from at the moment, and what you can do to help yourself. Now, as it's a collective reading, not everything will resonate, so please only take what resonates and leave what doesn't. If you don't find any messages in this for yourself, then please check your other placements, and you should find a message there. That was an absolutely awful shuffle. I am very sorry that you have to witness that. If you like your message today, please hit that thumbs up button. It will help pass the message on to anybody else that needs to hear it. And if you want to hear more from me, then don't forget to hit that subscribe if you haven't already. And if you press the notification bell, it will let you know when I load new content. So let's get into the reading for you. Spirit, can we get some cards, please, for Sagittarius and their self-reflection journey? One card at a time, please, Spirit. Otherwise, it's going to be a really long reading. And the self-reflection ones are long enough as they are. That's a no. That's far too many for an outcome. Come on. Not even an outcome for a placement. One or two cards at the most, please, Spirit. Okay. Well, you've definitely got the most cards out of all the reads I've done for a while. Okay, so in your overall energy, we have the Four of Shards. Now, yeah, this is my dark crystal deck. It's pretty cool, to be fair. I love it. Had it for my birthday. So yeah, so shards then are very much like wands. So this is very much the Four of Wands for you. So your overall energy is feeling, you're not feeling like things are very successful for you. You're not feeling abundant. You're not feeling very stable. That's the overall energy that we've got for you at the moment. Potentially, you may be going through a divorce, maybe some sort of breakup, relationship breakdown, and you're just feeling really unsteady and really unsure about things. You could just be going through an argument, a bit of a downward spiral. But yeah, definitely not so much a successful union if you're in one, but very much you just feeling unhappy, very unstable, and like things aren't particularly joyful at the moment. Now that very much feeds into these two cards, so what you're currently talking, or how you're speaking to yourself. So we have the Moon card, and we have the Sun card in the reverse. So this tells me either one of two things. You're either telling yourself that things are being hidden from you, and that you'll never see clarity on a situation, or you are fearing that you're never going to be happy again. It could be both. To me, the initial reaction I got from this was that you're scared that you're never going to be happy. That Moon card is very much representing fear, things being kept from you, things being hidden in the dark. Could even be things that you're telling yourself, very much that you're lying to yourself about things. And that Sun card is very much not having the clarity when it's in the reverse, not being happy, feeling like happiness is going to be delayed. You don't see any joy, you're completely joyless, you're just completely devoid of things that make you feel fulfilled. And you feel like isn't coming, and it's not going to come towards you anytime soon. Let's get some clarification. Now I'm clarifying with my Labyrinth deck. Just having one of those retrospective, you know, nostalgic moments. And with me having my Dark Crystal deck for my birthday, I thought, why not clarify it with a Labyrinth deck? Two of my favourite movies as a kid. That is loads of cards to clarify. Brilliant. That is a lot of cards to clarify. Anyway, so the moon then, so we've got the Chariot. So you do want some successful movement forward. You are very much trying to talk yourself into moving forward from something. We have a 7 of junk. That's the equivalent of the 7 of coins. Again, that's it's in the reverse. So again, telling yourself that you need to move on, you need to move forward, you need to look at, you know, planting your roots somewhere else. Wait for, you know, basically cut your losses where you've got them and move forward. We have a 3 of Pots. Now that 3 of Pots is the 3 of Cups, or the equivalent of it. That's very much telling me that you do want to be happy. You're very much wanting to be happy, but you know that you need to move forward and leave something behind in order to be happy. We have a Wheel of Fortune in the upright as well, which is very much telling me that you have potentially learned a big lesson recently. The karmic wheel is turning in your favour. You're about to or you want to be very lucky. You want to, again, have that success, and you want to move forward. We've got a King of Pots here. So the King of Cups. So very much feeling your emotions, controlling them very well, being extremely trustworthy, very loyal. And generally, you're telling yourself to make sure that you're feeling your feelings. We have a Knight of Pots too. So potentially you're wanting something new. Maybe you're trying to move into a new relationship. If this is regards relationship, maybe you want new love. Maybe you just want to give a message of love to somebody. But again, we've got this Sun in the reverse, very much telling me that you don't feel like whatever you do is going to be successful. So it's like you're telling yourself, yes, you need to feel your emotions and you want to communicate with someone. You want to have that successful move forward. But at the same time, it's like you're telling yourself, what's the point? Because you don't think you'll be happy, or you don't have enough information to do all of this. It could very much be that you are scared of making a move towards another person because you don't know how they're feeling, because you haven't got that clarity on the situation. It could very well be that you need to do a lot of inner love, and it could just be that you're not feeling happy within yourself, and these could very much be messages of self-love, and that you're telling yourself you need to love yourself a lot more. Now, in what you're hiding from yourself, out of shame or fear, we have a 9 of Stones. And we have a Devil in the reverse. Now, that 9 of Stones is in the reverse as well. So, that 9 of Stones, weirdly, is the equivalent of the 9 of Swords. Gems are the pentacles in this deck. It's weird, I know, because stones are generally earth. But I think in the Dark Crystal, I'm pretty sure they were using them in slingshots. So, you know, weapons. So I can get on board with it. Absolutely fair enough. So the 9 of Stones then in the reverse, potentially what you're hiding is depression. A lot of deep feelings, a lot of sorrow, a lot of regret that you're sitting on. And that's potentially what you're sitting and feeling, and you're controlling very well. That King of Pots is very, very good at hiding his emotions. And I think that's very much what you're doing here with this 9 of Stones. You're very much hiding everything. You may be quite depressed, to be honest, but you get a lot of people that nobody knows they're depressed because you can't tell. You know, they hide it with a smile. You could be very much somebody that does this. It could very well be that you may just be obsessively thinking about things, but you try not to. The Devil is telling me that you are trying to stop obsessing over things. that devil in the reverse is very much you overcoming certain negative behaviours, potentially to do with obsessiveness or overthinking. You know, it could even be things that were causing you to be depressed. You're coming out of that with that devil energy being in the reverse. Why you're ashamed of that, I'm not sure. Maybe you like people to think that you're a certain way. Maybe, I mean, it could be that you've grown up around people and having some sort of, you know, mental sickness, illness. Might be something that's shameful to some people. I mean, I used to be around people that used to sit there and say, if you're depressed, change your life. You know, if you're not happy with something and it makes you depressed, then change what it is that makes you depressed. Do something different, you know. You could very well be in or around people that have that kind of mindset. It's not that easy to just change things around. Yes, you can change certain things you do, but it depends on what it is, you know. And sometimes it's very, very hard once you've got yourself in that state to get yourself out of it. So that 9 of stones then and the devil is being clarified by, we've got the Queen of Junk in the reverse. I really need to get a lamp so that I can show you these better, because these are really pretty cards. We've got the 4 of Pots in the reverse, and we've got the Justice card in the reverse. So that that Queen of Junk then is very much telling me that you were not feeling abundant. So something that you may be over obsessing on. Maybe you've lost some money. Maybe that's part of what some obsessive behaviour was about. Some toxic behaviour that you're trying to, or that you're coming out of. Maybe you lost money. You very much then having to think about it, dwelling on it. Potentially you may have been a gambler, or you were addicted to something previously that cost a lot of money, and it put you in this stage of, you know, a lack of abundance, pretty much not having any sort of abundance. The Queen of Junk is somebody who likes the finer things in life. I say that, she's a Queen of Junk, but like when she's the Queen of Pentacles, very much likes the finer things in life. Could very well be that you were just a bit of a spendaholic. Maybe you've lost money that way because of, you know, that sort of habit. It could be that you may have lost family as well, because the Queen of Junk is also somebody that is very disinterested in family. They are not interested in domestic life at all. So it could very well be that something has happened and it's ended up causing you to lose out on family, or maybe you're ashamed of not being interested in family life. Maybe you feel like that is, you know, something that you're dwelling on. Maybe certain behaviours that you had in the past that you're coming out of is what has caused you to not want to have that family life. Maybe you've had toxic things in your past that you've broken free from, and it has caused you to not want to have family and you feel ashamed about it. We do have the 4 of Pots. Now that 4 of Pots is very much telling me that you've learnt what is good for yourself, that you do know what is in front of you, and you are very much taking opportunities that do come available to you. It could be that what you feel is now good for you is something that you may have missed previously, and that could be why it's causing you to have nightmares, and it could be why you're feeling a bit of shame. Now we do also have the Justice in the reverse, so that does suggest to me that there has been some sort of legal decision that was not in your favour, possibly to do with, again, whatever has caused you some toxicity. If it's, you know, with this Queen of Junk, potentially families falling apart, divorce, separation, potentially children being removed. It may not be. It could just simply be that you feel like things have not been very fair to you. Maybe things in the past have not been fair. People may have let you go. Like I say, with these people, it could be that people in your past have been toxic, Maybe you feel like they weren't treating you fairly. Maybe they were taking all your money from you. You know, but you've realised what is good for you now. But again, having yourself in that position is, maybe you feel like that's a bit shameful that you let that happen to yourself, because now you know what is good for you and what's right for you. And it's like you're potentially dwelling on the past instead of learning the lessons from it and appreciating what you've got now. You could very well be dwelling on the past, realising, yes, you've released this toxicity, but you lost X, Y, and Z. And, you know, you could be in that victim mentality very much. Now, what you can do to help yourself, we have the 5 of Shards in the reverse, and we have an Empress in reverse. Now, that 5 of Shards in the reverse is very much telling me that you need to stop competing. You need to potentially cooperate with people. It could even be that you need to stop beating yourself up. The Empress in the reverse is telling me that you are not feeling very grounded. You're not feeling very centered. You don't feel abundant. You feel completely overwhelmed. So potentially what will happen when you stop beating yourself up and you start just accepting things as they are, start embracing and being grateful for what's around you, you know, you'll find that you're probably no longer quite as overwhelmed as you once were. Let's get some clarification on this Empress and the 5 of Shards. Get one more, thank you. So we have the 9 of Poles, we have the King of Feathers, and we have the 7 of Feathers in the reverse. So the 9 of Poles is very much your wounded warrior energy, very much you being defensive, protecting yourself, having all your defences up, having all your barriers up, making sure that you're not getting hurt. Now that's great. It's very much having, you know, it's very much trying to do that with cooperation. That can also be while you're not feeling very grounded, while you're feeling extremely overwhelmed, because if you're constantly defending yourself about things, it is going to make you overwhelmed. However, defending yourself does look as though it's something that will help you heal, because we've also got this King of Feathers. So when I say defending yourself, it's also defending yourself internally as well. That King of Feathers is somebody who very much speaks the truth. He wants clarity. He's very good at clarity, and he's very good at communicating. This is suggesting to me that you need to talk to yourself. You need to defend yourself, because you're telling yourself that you're never going to be happy, but you are. You need to very much find your inner truth, find the positivity in things, and find what it is that you're grateful for. We also have the 7 of Feathers in the reverse. Now, the feathers are the sword deck in the labyrinth cards. So that's very much telling me that you need to be open and honest with yourself. You need to lay everything out on the table. You need to tell yourself what it is that you want and what it is that's happened in the past. Draw a line under what's happened. Learn from it, but stop dwelling on it. Because once it's out on the table and it's out in front of you, you know, you can then realise what's going on. You can find your truths from it. If it's regarding another person, then open up and speak to them. You know, if this is very much regarding another person in your life and you feel like you need to get closure, then get closure. If this is something where you feel like you need to have your say on something, then have your say, but don't argue about it. Do it in a way that's going to bring you cooperation and forgiveness with that 5 of Shards in the reverse, not competition and competitiveness and strife. You don't want the competitiveness and strife. That's why it's in the reverse. It's telling you to let go of that. Could potentially be that somebody that you once saw as your Empress is the person that you need to speak to. Yes, have your defences up by all means, but make sure that you're speaking with honesty and clarity, and you're speaking your truths. You know, if it's something that you need to air, then you need to air it. Now, in what you need to let go of, we've got the Five of Gems and we have the Lover's card. Now, that Five of Gems is very much telling me that you need to release feeling regretful and sorrowful. Okay, the Lovers is potentially a relationship. It could just be a friendship. It's some sort of union, or an idea of a union. Whatever you thought the Lovers was, potentially your idea of who your perfect person was. You know, that's something you need to let go of. Maybe your standards are a little bit high. Maybe who you thought was your perfect person and you haven't got over them. Potentially, maybe you're getting a divorce from this person, or you know, you've had a falling out. Maybe that's why you feel like you'll never be happy, because it doesn't matter how much you love them and how much you try and communicate your love to them, it's just not going anywhere, you know. This is suggesting to me that you let that go and let go of any sorrow and regret. So if you feel like you've done something within this relationship, or if it is a relationship, you know, it's very much learning from it so that you don't repeat the same thing. If it's just sorrow about losing them, again, you need to release the victim mentality. Start embracing what you're grateful for, the small things that are around you. There's always something that you're grateful for. So we've also got, so to clarify, we've got the Fool in reverse. So release hesitating, release stagnation, release using your head over your heart all the time. We've got the Ten of Pots in the reverse. So very much your idea of whatever the happy family is, or if it was a happy family, you know, that has come to an end. It's something that you do need to release. You do need to release that idea that you're not going to be happy again, because you will be. You need to release the thought of it being sad and upset and unhappy, because it's not unhappy. It's just how you were currently perceiving the situation. Once you get yourself in a happier mindset, you'll actually realise it's not as bad as you think it is. Now, we do have the Ace of Junk coming out to the side. So it is going to be a bit of a challenge to potentially release an abundant start. It could just be that you are having to release, maybe you've lost some money somewhere. I mean, this Queen of Junk down here is suggesting that you potentially lost some money. It could be quite hard for you to release that loss of money, especially if it's something where, you know, you're still trying to deal with that loss, because sometimes when you're still going through that loss and you're feeling the repercussions from it, it's still quite hard to deal with. But this is suggesting that you do need to release either the missed opportunity of an abundant new start, or just the release of a loss. Now, we do also have a Page of Feathers. That page, I mean, this could very much be that you need to release the idea of a challenging reconciliation, if this is a particular person that you're considering or thinking of while I'm reading this. We do have a Page of Feathers also coming out to the side. So you need to release the need to know everything that's going on. That Page of Feathers is very much somebody that will do a lot of investigating into things. He likes to know everything that's going on. He's a bit of a snoop, a bit of an investigator. He can also very much jump to conclusions and can deal in a lot of gossip. So this is suggesting to me that you need to release any gossip that's going on around you. You need to release the need to know everything as well. Okay? It could be very challenging to ignore everything that's going on around you, and it could be very challenging to not need to know everything. I know some of us signs do like to know everything, and it can be very hard when things aren't out there. If you've got Virgo in your chart, you'll know what I mean. Now, we do have, in what you need to embrace, we have a King of Shards in the reverse, and we have a Four of Vials in the upright. Now, that King of Shards is very much telling me that, see, the King of Shards is very selfish. It's telling me you need to be selfish. Potentially put yourself first for a change. Because that King of Shards is very much somebody that puts themselves first above everyone else. It's very much, yes, they've got a lot of passion, they've got a lot of drive. Now, they can be quite aggressive, but I can't imagine that it's telling you to be aggressive unless it's an aggressive in a certain behaviour. There are certain things you can be aggressive in, and it's fine. Not towards other people, obviously. I mean, unless it's in a controlled manner. Maybe you're a boxer, you know. You get a bit aggressive doing that sort of thing. Sorry, I just dropped half the deck on the floor. But yeah, it could just be, to me, I feel like this is very much you being selfish, embracing having a bit of selfishness about you, embracing that you don't have to do everything for other people. You can just do things for yourself. And that Four of Vials, now that's the cups in this dark crystal deck. That's very much telling me that it's okay to be bored. It's okay to not know what's in front of you. It's fine to not need to know what's good for you all the time. You're not going to learn that until you've been selfish and you've experienced certain things. Let's get some clarification on those. I mean, that Four of Vials can also very well be somebody that is, you know, dreaming a lot, daydreaming. Maybe it's telling you that you should be selfish and embrace your dreams, you know, charge towards them with that King of Shards. We have a Two of Poles in the reverse, which is telling me you should stop waiting. Stop planning things out and move towards it. We've got an Eight of Feathers. Now that's come out to the side. So overthinking could be a bit of a challenge, but it is something where you do need to me, I'd say that this is embracing freeing yourself up from overthinking. It is going to be a bit of a challenge to do that, but it is something that you should do. Very much stop overthinking things. Maybe, you know, with it, stop thinking that you're being selfish or you know, some people will live their life in service of others, doing things to make people happy, putting themselves last all the time because they want to make everyone happy before them. And it's like they think that they don't deserve to be happy. They've got to make everyone else happy first. There's nothing wrong with making yourself happy. At the end of the day, if you're not happy, why should you make everyone else happy if you're not happy? You know, you've got to look after yourself. And if you're not making yourself happy, then you're not being the best you. You're not doing the best things for you. Yes, by all means, there is making yourself happy and doing things that are immoral and whatever else that could make you happy. I wouldn't suggest going around doing things like adultery and, you know, taking loads of drugs or whatever else. That's very toxic behaviour. But things like if you want to go dancing, you know, and you don't do it very often, go and do it. Find whatever makes you happy, creative, exercising, even if it's just reading books, spending time on your own, taking a bath, you know, that sort of thing. If it makes you happy, then do it. Don't overthink it. Stop with the overthinking. Embrace not overthinking. Take your time. There's no rush. And then we have a Six of Pots. So embrace nostalgia as well. So maybe thinking about the past, but thinking about it in a happy way. So, I mean, this could very well be that you've got somebody new coming towards you that you may need to embrace. I say someone new, but it could be somebody from your past. So if you're very much looking for a new relationship, this could be something that could be healing for you, but it could just be friendship from the past. It could be just that you need to embrace your soul tribe, potentially. You know, anybody that your soul recognises from the past that you feel can be that a part of your soul tribe, you know, very much having those friends around you. Yeah, very much just embracing things from your past, embracing the happiness from them. By all means, you know, embrace your past, learn from it. Don't live in it though. But yeah, definitely, you know, coming out of this waiting and planning energy. Possibly getting yourself out there with people from your past. Maybe you've got friends and family that you haven't spoke to for a long time, and this is suggesting maybe you reconnect with them and start connecting with them again. Maybe things from the past or people from your past made you happy and you're missing out on it, because it definitely seems like the things from the past that you broke free from, that you're ashamed of, but they may have made you happy. I mean, if they're no longer toxic, then, you know, move towards them. If they are toxic, then you'll soon find out, and their energy will, you know, don't lower your energy for them though. Make sure you stay in your highest frequencies and do what's best for yourself. But by all means, reach out, you know, see what they're like now. There's nothing stopping you. If it makes you happy, then do it. Okay, so your Angel of Light card. We've got synchronicity. There is no such thing as chance in our incredible universe. The coincidences and synchronicities are carefully orchestrated by your guides and angels. So recognize them as the hand of spirit. Rejoice when you notice them, for they're the angels' messages to you that you are on the right path. Start to expect them and look for them, but be aware that there is a divine reason behind them, and consider what that message or lesson is. Synchronicity is also a reminder to you that things happen in divine timing. Your affirmation: all things happen in perfect timing. Okay. Well, I hope you enjoyed your reading today, Sagittarius. I hope that's giving you some ideas on areas that you do need to work on. Good luck with your healing, and thank you for joining me.